last week lecturing at Unilag, University of Lagos. Has anyone been to Africa? If you go to Nigeria in particular, it's a picture of desperation. And Nigeria, it's a beautiful place, but it's been plagued by terrible, catastrophical events since independence, since the country won independence in 1960. There were years of civil war, then there were years of brutal dictatorship, and in recent years, a farce of a democracy. And as a result, who suffers? People suffer. You go there, you see it in the roads, you see it everywhere. It's terrible. If it's so bad now, you can imagine how bad it was in 1960. And around that time, there was this young lecturer teaching at a university there. He had a passion to write. He loved to write poetry, he loved to write essays and fiction, etc. But he was angry at what was happening around him. And he was outspoken. He spoke out against the dictators. He spoke against the government of the day. And as a result, the African guys can be really brutal. He was put in prison, tortured, put in prison without a trial. He wasn't given a pen and paper. They just wanted to finish him off. But he wanted to keep that spark alive, that spark to write. And so he would use the toilet paper, he would scribble down his notes, and he would smuggle whatever his writings to his publisher in England. And finally, he managed to get his books published, and people started reading him. And he was a prodigious writer. His writing, that spark that he had to write, became a flame and a fire. Now, years passed, the world came to really notice him. And eventually, in 1986, he won the Nobel Prize in Literature, the first African to win a Nobel in that category. The person I'm talking about is Wole Soyinka. Now, Wole Soyinka nurtured his spark under trying circumstances. How did he do it? Because he knew what fired him up. He knew what fired him up. He knew what his passion was. What fired him up was the misrule in his country. And writing is just a medium to express what one wants to express. Similarly, speaking, which is what all of us want to do. We want to be better speakers. And this is a great platform to do that. But speaking is just a medium. Before you think about becoming a good speaker, you need to know what fires you up. What is it that you're really passionate about? And speaking or writing is just a medium. So if you want that spark in your heart to become a fire and a flame, you need to first ask yourself, what is it that fires me? What is it that excites me? What is it that I want to express and tell the world? And speaking or writing will follow later, and you become a better speaker, a better writer. And thank God we have this wonderful platform to practice this. Toastmasters International, as you know, was started about 9 decades ago by Dr. Ralph Smedley. Today it's around the world, in English-speaking countries, in non-English-speaking countries. We now have Toastmasters meetings happening in Japanese, Spanish, German, and so on, right? It's an incredible movement. Now, you have come here with different objectives, right? You want to be, you want to be a motivational speaker, you just want to be a good teacher, whatever it is. This is a great platform. It changes lives, and that's why we're here. Anyone who spent a few years at this club would come back and say, it's transformed me. And I went to a Toastmaster International conference last year in Kuala Lumpur. How many of you have gone to an international conference? Anyone? You go there And let me tell you, you're going to come back and say, I will be a Toastmaster for life. The way it's done, I mean, of course, our club meetings are fantastic. But the way they, and I've been a journalist for 20 years, I've been to so many conferences. If you ask me one conference that's organized well, that you come back empowered, feeling great, it's the Toastmaster International Conference. And therefore, I urge all of you to save money and make sure, whenever at some point, definitely visit them. At the club level, any Toastmaster meeting has got 3 broad sections. You've got the table topic section, which is impromptu speaking. Then you've got the prepared speech section. So when you join Toastmasters, you're given a manual. There are various projects. You give speeches based on the guidelines in that manual. So we have the prepared speech section. And then those prepared speeches are evaluated. And then the entire meeting is evaluated as well by a general evaluator. And the general evaluator this evening is a seasoned member of our club. He is a marketing professional. He's a great table topic speaker. The last time there was the table topics contest, he finished 3rd at the division level. Please put your hands together for the general evaluator this evening, Ratan Shetty.